Hi everyone, welcome to second lecture on higher order linear differential equations with the constant coefficients. So in the first lecture we have seen how to solve a homogeneous linear differential equation. The complementary function has been discussed. In this we'll see how to find a particular integral for this non-homogeneous type of higher order linear differential equations. So let me briefly tell you, like, a higher order linear differential equation with the constant coefficients will look in this format: f of d of y is equals to q of x. Whereas this f of d is a polynomial, nth degree polynomial function of nth degree. So whenever this is polynomial of nth degree, this f of d is polynomial of nth degree, this equation will be a higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Whereas if q is equals to 0, this equation is said to be homogeneous type of differential equation, homogeneous. And whenever q is not is equals to 0, this is said to be non-homogeneous. So in the previous lecture, lecture 1, we have seen how to solve a homogeneous type of differential equation. I mean to say f of d of y is equals to 0 type of differential equation has been solved. Now whenever you are given f of d of y is equals to q of x, I mean to say non-homogeneous linear higher order differential equation has been given, how to solve it? As we already know, the solution of this equation will be in the form y is equals to complementary function plus particular integral, and you are all aware of how to find the complementary function for this differential equation. That's been discussed in lecture number 1. Now we'll see this part, how to find the particular integral of this non-homogeneous differential equation. And not every differential equation has been solved here in as per your syllabus is concerned. You are solving a particular type of differential equations, like whenever q is equals to exponential function, or q is equals to a trigonometric like cos ax or sine function, or it is an algebraic function, a polynomial otherwise I can say, or it is combination of e power ax into any of these two, in e power ax into v, or it is a type of like x into v. There are few, like 5 or 6 types of differential equations are only been solved here in our syllabus. Now let us see one by one. So in this lecture we are going to find particular integral of always I use the notation pi for this particular integral of differential equation f of d of y is equals to e power ax. Very first one is exponential function in the right side. Then how to find the particular integral of this type. So and then after we'll take 1 or 2 questions which supports the solution of this particular type of differential equation. So let us see. See your particular integral yp here can be, you are finding y from this differential equation which is of the type e power ax by f of t. This is what your intention is to find. This is what your particular integral. This is what we are finding. Now to find this, let me consider a function like this. Suppose if you consider derivative of e power x, we'll see what will happen. D, as you already know, this d is derivative of e power x, and this is a times e power ax. Likewise, second derivative of e power x is, again you are differentiating the right side, which is a squared times of e power x, and if it is d cube times of e power x, it will be giving you a cube e power ax, and so on. So what does this mean? Whenever your polynomial is been given of nth degree and you are operating with e power ax, it is giving simply f of a. See, if it is d, you are getting d times of a times of e power x. If it is d square, a square times. So if it is a polynomial also, it will be simply substitution of a in place of d, something like that, of e power ax or into a power x. So your f of d is replaced with f of a. That is how the derivatives will come on about this exponential function. So what does this will give you? See, suppose if we multiply throughout with 1 by f of d, and this is giving f of d e power ax is equals to 1 over f of d f of a times e power ax. I have just multiplied with 1 by f of d. So here it cancels, it is remaining like e power ax, and this is 1 over f of d, and it's a constant like f of a, which can also taken on the left side, which is 1 over f of a e power ax. Hope you can understand that. See, you are interested in finding this particular integral, and that means this thing. You are simply substituting a in place of d. That is how we can find a particular integral whenever this substitution is not giving 0, because if it is 0, this term is meaningless. So whenever this denominator is not is equal to 0, your particular integral, whatever you need, like e power ax by f of d, is simply e power ax by f of a. So what happens if f of a is equals to 0? See, whenever f of a is equals to 0, while finding the particular integral of the type e power ax over f of d, you simply follow the rule x times of 1 over f dash of d e power ax. And then in place of d, you can put a, that is as usual, and I will directly write here in this way only. And this is also possible whenever this first derivative, denominator is not is equal to 0. This is the rule we must follow whenever the direct substitution is giving 0 in place of a of the function f of d. Otherwise, we can simply put f of a as a denominator, and we leave it as a particular integral. Hope you can understand that. And suppose your f of a is also 0, what happens? F dash of a is also 0. Then whatever you are finding, that is e power ax by f of d, can be in this way: x square times 1 over f double dash of a. You find out the second derivative and you put a in place of d, and you operate with e power x. You multiply with e power x. This is whenever f double dash of a is not is equal to 0. That is how we proceed. That is how we proceed. So this is just the basic rule, but let me briefly tell you the working procedure of finding the particular integral. The direct step I am writing while finding e power ax over f of d. This is the particular integral you are interested in. You simply put a in place of d. That's it. This is whenever f of a is not is equals to 0. The substitution is not giving 0. It is enough. This is only the particular integral. But whenever f of a is equals to 0, you better write the particular integral in this way. You just write the factors of this f of d. The factor will definitely be in this format. It is becoming 0. It is becoming 0 while putting d as a. Why? Because one of the factors must be d minus a power k. It will definitely be there. Otherwise, it won't be 0. Since d minus a is a factor of k times, then only it is becoming 0. So it is becoming 0, then your factorization must be in this format. So write the factorization for that. And then in this factor only you put a in place of d, because it will not make 0. Means e power x over phi of a, and you multiply with x power k over k factorial. This is the direct approach you can remember while using your while solving the differential equation, the particular integrals of this type. Otherwise, you can follow this approach as we have just basically explained. So let us see few examples so that you can get some clarification. Suppose you are given d square y by dx square minus 6 dy by dx plus 9y is equals to 6 e powered 3x plus 7 e powered minus 2x minus a log 2. This is what the differential equation is. Of course, on the right side you are having 3 different terms. So as usual, this is second order linear differential equation with the constant coefficient, because every derivative is having the constant as a coefficient. Now let me start with the auxiliary equation. It's a simple algebraic equation just by looking into the differential equation, wherever the second derivative is a higher one and 6 times of the first derivative is replaced with m. That is how we can proceed. 9 and is equals to 0. This is algebraic equation corresponding to your f of d. F of d is the polynomial, whereas d stands for differentiation. And you need to find out the roots, because you must be finding the solution, means you are finding the complementary function as well as the particular integral. You need to add those two to get the general solution. So to get the complementary function, we are interested in finding the roots of auxiliary equation. So that is why I am just going through. So it is written something like this. So this is m square minus 6m plus 9 is equal to 0, whereas m is equals to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac over 2a, that you can use. That is 6 plus or minus 36 minus 36 will be 0 over 2, which is 3 plus or minus 0, of course there. I mean to say 3 plus 0 and 3 minus 0. M is giving two roots which are repeated. So 3 is a real root which is repeating 2 times. Then accordingly, your complementary function yc is c1 plus c2x e powered 3 is the root, so 3x. This is the complementary function is. Now, but to write the solution, we need the particular integral also. Let us check out how to find the particular integral in this case. See, your particular integral can be your y from this differential equation is, the right side is 6 e power 3x plus 7 e power minus 2x minus log 2 over your f of d, because f of d into y is there on the left side, so that you can write the f d in the right side. That is d squared, because second derivative, minus 6 times of d plus 9. So this is the particular integral we are interested in, but there are 3 different terms in the numerator, so we need to split the fraction for that. So there is nothing but to write e power 3x, 6 e power 3x over d square minus 6d plus 9, 7 e power minus 2x over d square minus 6d plus 9 minus log 2 over d square minus 6d plus 9. Let me take this as particular integral 1, particular integral 2 plus particular integral 3. That is how we proceed, otherwise you can directly do it. See, it is becoming something like this. You are finding the particular integral as, this is 6 times of e power 3x over, you are having, this is of course d square minus 6d plus 9. Let me write it freshly so that you can see here in the case itself. And this is what the term we are having, over d square minus 6d plus 9. See, your intention is to put 3 in place of d, because your numerator is, your right side function is e power 3x. So it is in the form of e power ax over f of d. Your intention is to put a in place of d, means a means 3 here. But if you write 3 here in place of d, 3 square minus 6 into 3, 9 minus 18, minus 9 plus 9 cancels, will become 0. That is becoming 0. Why? Because 3 is a root. While finding the complementary function, we have seen the roots are 3 and 3. 3 is a root, that is why it is becoming 0. So what do we do? Since it is the failed case, you write the factors of this f of d, factors of this denominator, that is d minus 3 whole square, because the roots are already known, which are 3 and 3. We can write the factorization in this way. And whenever the factors are been written, only one factor is involved, there is no other factor. Suppose if it is there, you are just putting 3 in place of d in that factor. Here, if you put here, it is becoming 0. Since it is a d minus a is a factor 2 times, whole square is involved. So we will simply write x square over 2. The procedure has been explained clearly. There is nothing to substitute in the denominator, that leaves in this answer. And now, this is again e power ax by f of d, a particular integral of type e power ax by f of d. Your intention is to put d is equals to minus 2 here in this place, because it will never make 0, because minus 2 is not a root. So simply substitute it. How? This is minus 2 squared, 6 into minus 2 plus 9. That's it. Some number which is not 0 will be given. That as usual will be a particular integral. Now what about this? It's a log function, logarithmic function, but it is a constant. Logarithmic term is there, but it is a constant. I can say constant function. So there is no exponential here in this case. Since it is a constant, we are having the method whenever e power ax is involved. So I will be converting this as e power ax by taking a is 0, because e power 0 is 1. We simply write it in this way. Now it is constant times of something like 7 times of e power minus 2x, log 2 times of e power 0x. Both are looking in a similar sense. Now this will be, your intention is to put 0 in place of d. That will never make 0 in the denominator. And this is becoming e power minus 2x. This is 4 plus 12. 13, 4 plus 12, 16, 25. That's it. You are simply writing this as 3x square e power 3x, and the second term is 7 over 25 e power minus 2x minus log 2, as usual it is 0, which is by 9. This is what your particular integral is. So this is the failed case. Denominator is becoming 0, so we have written the factors simply like that. And this is direct substitution because it is not failed. Like when we put minus 2 in place of d, it is not giving any 0. It's a direct way. And even this is also direct way because it is a constant. You are taking as e power 0x and you are putting 0 in place of d. It is also direct case, not failed case. Hope this is how we can find the particular integral. But while writing the general solution of the given differential equation, it's a compulsory task you must do. Y is equals to your complementary function and the particular integral summation can be taken. Both the functions are available, just add them to get the general solution. So this is how we find a particular integral of the type e power ax on the right side. Now let us go for another also. We'll try to find particular integral of f of d of y is equals to, right side only will be changed, rest is same because it is higher order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Depending upon the right side, we'll have another procedure to find out the particular integral, not the standard way. So it is, if it is either cosine function or a sine function, any of these two, the same method, same procedure will be followed. Either it is sine function or cosine function, linear terms, not sine square, something like that. See, so when you are interested in finding the particular integral, suppose if you write y from this, it's cos ax over f of d. This is what your interest is, your particular integral is. But before going to deal with this particular integral, let me tell you one thing that, suppose if you operate the derivative d on this cos ax, we'll see what will happen. This gives you minus a times of sin ax. D stands for the derivative of cos ax, simple known formula. Then what will be d square? Suppose if you operate with the same function cos ax, it is giving, again differentiation of this will be minus a into a cos ax. See, likewise, if it is third derivative of cos ax, it is minus a cube times of sin ax. Suppose if it is d power 4, again if you differentiate the function, it is derivative of sin is minus cos, so that it is becoming a power 4 cos ax, and so on. See what you can observe in all these. See, second derivative and the fourth derivative, sixth derivative. If you observe all these terms, the same cosine function is obtained in such a way that you can guess something like this. Whenever your d square is replaced with minus a squared, and the same function is big. See, if you operate d square on the cos ax, it is minus a square times of cos ax. If it is operated on d square into d square times of cos ax, to say cos is operated on d power 4, it is giving minus a square into minus a square times of cos ax. So a power 4 times of cos ax. So you can guess whenever even power of d is been given is obtained, like d square, d power 4, d power 8, all these, d power 6. So what your intention is, your pure intention is to put, I mean, they are coming in such a way that in place of d square, you have obtained like minus a square. See, what I can write is, if your function is in terms of d square and you are operating with cos x, and you can guess the answer as f of minus a square times of cos x, and you are simply putting d square as minus a square, something like that. You can guess the answer if your polynomial is in terms of d square. See, from this, if you operate with 1 by f of d, I mean 1 by f of d square, otherwise cos ax will be 1 by f of d squared f of minus a square cos ax, or it is giving 1 by f of minus a square cos ax, because it is a constant term, you can write it in the left, is equals to 1 by f of d square cos ax. Finished. So I want to tell you, you are finding this type of particular integral and you can write this as answer. Just by looking into the equation, like in place of just d square, you are putting minus a square and that gives the answer. That is how we can find the particular integral. But what happens if it is, if the function denominator is having d cube or d power 4 or d power 5, something else, or d. Suppose if it is d cube, you are simply putting in this format d square into d, and your substitution is d square is equal to minus a square, and you will be having in terms of d in the denominator, and that should be rationalized in order to get the d square term in the denominator, so that once d square has been obtained, it will be substituted with minus a square. That is how we proceed. So let us check for the failure case. See, this is all possible whenever this denominator, that substitution is not giving 0, not becoming 0. What happens if it is 0? The other will be, I mean to say, your particular integral is in such a way that cos ax over d squared plus a squared. See, you have just now seen that you must substitute minus a square in place of d square in order to write the answer of this particular integral. But if we go in that way, it becomes 0, denominator becomes 0, so which is meaningless. So what do we do in that case? We use the general approach. General approach is that x times of 1 over f dash of d into cos ax. You find out the derivative of the function f of d, and then you think of substitution. I mean, again, if it is the function, if you treat that function in terms of d square and you put minus a square here in this function whenever it is not making 0, f of minus a square is not giving 0, you substitute in that way. You may put minus a square in place of d square, and you proceed. Like, even if it is also 0, you are writing that as x square times of 1 over second derivative of the function in terms of whatever in terms of d square into cos ax. And you put d square is equal to minus a square, and you go on whenever it is not making 0. This is the way. Otherwise, you can directly remember the formulas in this way. Your particular integral of cos ax over d square plus a square, it is directly x over 2a sin ax, because if you proceed in this way, you will get that answer. There is no much bigger difficult task there. And if your particular integral is of sine function over d square plus a square, so this is the formula minus x by 2a cos ax. So these are used whenever denominator is becoming 0 while finding this type of particular integral. So we'll see some supportive examples depending upon this sine or cosine functions. So let me give you a question number like d square plus 1 of y is equals to sin x into sin 2x. So there is a product of two sine functions. So again, I'm not here in this question, I'm not concentrating on your complementary function, because you are all aware of it. I'll be only finding the particular integral, which is sin x into sin 2x over d square plus 1. But say this is product of two trigonometric, two sine functions, but which should not be there. A single sine function should be there, so that I will be using some trigonometric rule like 2 sin A sin B formula, which is cos of A minus B minus cos of A plus B. So that you can write that as sum of two different terms, which will be our known particular integral. See, this is becoming cos of A minus B is cos x, because x minus 2x is minus sin x, because cos function is cos of minus theta is cos theta, that you are all aware of it, minus cos of, this is 3x over, because 2 is not there, you write over 2, this is 2 times of d square plus 1. Now this is after splitting two different types of particular integrals. This is cos x by 2 times of d square plus 1 minus cos 3x over 2 times of d square plus 1. Now your intention is to put d square as minus, because cos ax, a is 1 here, minus 1 square, it is a minus 1 in the first integral, whereas second particular integral you must substitute d square is equal to minus 3 square, because cos ax, a is 3 in that case. But if you put d square is equal to minus 1 square, that is the usual procedure we use for, denominator becomes 0. So obviously we go for the formula that we have seen in the previous slide, which is cos x over, this is 2a, sorry, the formula is, let me write the formula also, that thing is already known to you, which is x over 2a sin ax, but 2 is already there here, that 2 will be there, minus, this is direct substitution, which is not failure case, this d square is equal to minus 3 squared plus 1, minus 3 squared, not minus 3 whole square, that you must think of. This is x over 4 sin x minus cos 3x over, this is minus 9 plus 1, which is minus 8, 2 times of minus 8 is minus 16, will be positive 16. This is how we find the particular integral. And lastly, while writing the general solution, you may add complementary function and particular integral. So here in this question, we have covered this failure case and non-failure case, like the substitution, failed case and not failed case. So in today's, in this lecture, we have said two types of particular integrals. One is exponential, other one is sine or cosine functions. Clear? We'll see the other types in the later classes.